Divorce can bring feelings of worry, fear, and doubt. But how do you let go of that worry, fear, and doubt as you're going through divorce and after divorce? Well, this is what we're here to address and stick to the end so that you can find out more. See, January is deemed to be the most popular month for divorce. Now, it's not that people suddenly decide in January to divorce. It's also that in January, things start to come to a head. You experience Christmas, there's been stress, there have been expectations that may have been unfulfilled during Christmas. And January is the month the decision is made to divorce. But with that decision comes feelings and emotions of worry about finances. How are you going to cope? How are you going to live going through the divorce? And finally, when the divorce ends, what's life going to be like then? Guilt about not making the marriage work, taking your vows seriously and having an expectation that this would be for life. However, now you're in what seems to be a failed marriage. How did that happen? Why did that happen? What could I have done to make that different? And in questioning yourself about why the marriage ended and feeling guilty, then there may be doubt about yourself, doubt about the decisions that you made during the marriage, the expectations you had about yourself and about your husband during the marriage. As a result of that, you may start to doubt your own decision making, not only now, but decisions that you'll make in the future. But the thing that brought me through that, was knowing that life had to be better. Life had to be different. I've experienced joy before and wanted to experience it again. And so the marriage had to end. In order for me to move beyond the worry, doubt, and fear, you have to start by looking within, because that's where all experiences start. First and foremost, started looking at the stories I told myself about myself. See, these were narratives that I'd created about being a good wife, about being a good wife within the marriage. But with that not being the case, I had to look at the story and recognize it wasn't true. It was a story that I'd created about myself and could create another narrative. Also thinking about what people would think about me. Would they judge me? But in recognizing again that other people's judgments was them trying to make sense of my actions, and my concern about what they thought about me was a story that I was making up about other people. Once again, it wasn't true. It was a narrative. It was a story that if I've created one story about what others have thought about me, then that wasn't true either. And when I looked at where my pain and suffering was coming from, once again, I had to look back to the thinking I was believing to be true moment by moment, what I thought others thought about me, what I thought about myself, and none of that was true. And so, in facing my worry, doubt, and fear, through looking at the origins by asking myself these questions, I was able to let go of those emotions. Now, if you want to let go and understand more about where your worry, doubt, and fear is coming from, join me on the 16th of January, where we can begin to look beyond the worry, doubt, and fear to create a foundation for any worry, doubt, and fear which may come and you may have to face in the future.